special. One of a kind, one of the better boys. I'm on your level, that's what you say, but all I hear is noise. I don't have time for trying my luck. I've been too hurt before. You're not that special. Just give it up. I think I've had enough. I'm too busy loving my friends. I ain't got no love to spare for you. I'ma be that girl to the end. It don't really matter what you do. Guess I have to tell you again, 'cause you haven't got the news. Oh, you really need to understand that I don't wanna be your girlfriend. No, I don't wanna be your girlfriend. All I want is time with my girlfriend. So I don't wanna be your girlfriend. I know you want me, boy, I can tell. So deep under my spell. Sorry, not sorry that I'm no help, 'cause I'm full of myself. Boy, don't you worry, you'll find someone who wants you back, but that is not me. So give it up, haven't you had enough? I'm too busy loving my friends. I ain't got no
Intercontinental Sport TV back again. Thank God it's Friday. Yes. Come on. ISTV in the building. Come on. Let's go. It's Friday, people. I'm ready. I tell you, it is what it is. Back again with this video. We call it Friday Sport Talk. Oh my goodness. Who's going to be the king tonight in London? I'm talking about these two teams. Arsenal versus Chelsea tonight. That's it. The quick debate we're having today. I tell you, let's quickly look at the talking point. All right, DJ, thank you. I love that. Let me tell you, this is Intercontinental Sports TV. You know what I'm talking about. This is how we roll. This is how we do it every Friday. Let's go. Friday Sport Talk. Easy. Yes. Please smash the like on the video wherever you're watching from. What are you waiting for? Join us. Subscribe to the channel. Let's do this together always. I tell you, it's gonna be loud tonight. Yes, let me check this out. The talking point tonight. Who is the king of London? Chelsea or Arsenal? I tell you, I have the analysts getting ready. Prophets ready. Nubian Prince. Robbie is also ready. We're gonna talk about FIFA Women's World Cup. The review. The edge ended 0-0. I'm talking about Canada versus Nigeria yesterday. It's gonna be loud tonight. All right. Let me welcome this great gentleman. They're in the building. Not only me always. I tell you, it is what it is. Once again, what are you waiting for? Join us, subscribe. Let's go. Let me bring on this man. Robbie, talk to me. Are you ready? What's going on, bro? You are live.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening to you, Don. Good evening to the ISTV family, and of course, to all our viewers and listeners out there. It's good to be on the program once again. And I tell you, it is just, there's a whole lot going on in the world of sport. transfer news is on. At least United just signed Andre Onana, and of course, I'm so sure United fans are very, very happy as regards that particular capture. Chelsea also played and their first friendly, their first preseason friendly, and they smashed 5. Past their opponents. Arsenal also scored 5 goals. So I think the balls around what is going on right now is a very, very good one. And of course, the main area I will be sticking to is the Women's World Cup that is ongoing right now. And I tell you, it is a very, very interesting World Cup. 5 games played so far, 4 wins and 1 how competitive the games are. And one feature of this particular World Cup is the fact that there have been penalties awarded in all the 5 games played so far. So there have been 5 penalties in all the 5 games. 3, 2 have been scored and 3 has not been converted. So it tells you the fact that the goalkeepers have also brought their A game to the World Cup, and it seems like as if it's not going to be business as usual for players who will be stepping up to the plate to take the World Cup. And our own Nigerian goalkeeper, that is Chiamaka Nadozie, was the hero this morning, early hours of this morning, around 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m. when the game started. And of course, she saved that penalty from Christian Sinclair, and that was enough to end Nigeria a point because Nigeria got a red card late in that particular game. So it tells you the prowess of this goalkeeper because our reputation continues to skyrocket. Now I'm so sure that a lot of teams will be running after her to capture her signature. So for Nigeria, it is back to the drawing board because 1 point against Canada, I think, is a good point. Nigeria will also have to face Australia. Nigeria will face Northern Ireland as well in their last 2 games. And of course, Rasheedat Ajibade is one player that will be available for that tie. Before I actually hand over the mic, let me just quickly touch on Asisat Oshoala because yesterday she was a shadow of herself. She was not. This is one player that does very well for our club side, but yesterday she was just a shadow of herself. She had no contributions whatsoever to what the team did against Canada yesterday. She was no attacking threat whatsoever. She was just running aimlessly with the ball, and of course the Canadian defenders were able to keep her quiet for the entirety of the game. So it remains to be seen if things will be done differently in the second game. So on that note, I say good evening, and of course, let us get started.
All right, you hear that from that great man, Robbie. We're going to go deeper, more deeper on this one. But let me welcome other people first. I'm talking about Nubian Prince. Nubian Prince is an Arsenal fan. He's filming. He's getting ready to debate on this one. I'm talking about the quick debate. Who is the king of the Londons? All right, tell me, Nubian Prince, you're welcome to the show. Nubian, what's going on? You're welcome.
Good evening, The Dawn. It's a pleasure to be here. Let's talk more like we used to do. If I'm to butt in on that discussion, who is the king of London? Of course, Arsenal. And I'm not just saying this because I support Arsenal, but with verifiable facts. If you ask an average Chelsea fan, they'll tell you, "Oh, does Arsenal have Champions League titles?" As if that's the only title that exists. When it comes to Premier League, Arsenal have far more titles than Chelsea. When it comes to FA Cup, Arsenal have far more titles than Chelsea. When it comes to Community Shield, Arsenal have far more titles than Chelsea. Overall titles, Arsenal have far more titles than Chelsea. So the only way you can say, oh, Chelsea have actually edged Arsenal is, okay, Chelsea have European titles, Champions League, and of course World Club Championship. But of course, in terms of quality, maybe the edge, but in terms of quantity, Arsenal edges it. And of course, Arsenal never went 50 years without, the Premier League title. That happened to Chelsea. And when you look at the quality of players, when you look at the quality of stars that have actually gone through both clubs, you will know Arsenal definitely edges. So when you are talking about King of London, you shouldn't look beyond Arsenal. When, of course, Chelsea can battle for the second spot with the like of Spurs, West Ham, Brentford, those sort of. But the outright King of London, no doubt, Arsenal are the undisputed, Kings of London.
Oh my goodness! Please drop your comment. Do you agree with Nubian Prince? I tell you, Nubian Prince is absolutely an Arsenal fan. Breathing Arsenal, feeling Arsenal anytime, any day. But I'm going to bring on this lady. the Iron Lady of ISTV. Margaret, are you ready? Talk to me, Margaret. You are live. We are talking about this quick debate. Who do you think is the King of London? I know exactly you're a Manchester United fan, but talk to me. Who do you think is the King of London? Arsenal or Chelsea? You're welcome onto this show, Margaret. Talk to me.
Thank you, Dudon.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dudon. Good evening, Dudon. Good evening, Nubian Prince. Good evening, Robbie. Oh, wow. Now, I'm going to jump into this debate. You know, it's actually between two rival clubs, two clubs that are not my club, yeah. But definitely, as a Man United fan, I'm going to be neutral and I will say nothing but the truth. Nothing but the truth. We all know there is no debate about this when it comes to these two clubs. There is no debate about who is the king of London. Of course, it's Arsenal. They are the undisputed kings of London. Wow. Let me tell you, they are unbeaten in either in London derbies, either in 10 or over 10 London derbies. If I actually get it right. Okay. When it comes to title, you give it to Arsenal. 13 titles, 14 FA Cups, 2 EFL, 16 Community Shields, compared to Chelsea of 6 titles, 8 FA Cups, 4 Community Shield. There is nothing to debate about that one. Let's leave Champions League, like Nubian Prince said. We're not talking about Europe here. We're talking about the city, London, who is the king, and it's definitely Arsenal. And then Arsenal, they have actually collected the most points from London derbies. They have. And in all the London clubs, Arsenal have the overall best Premier League record out of all of them. So I give it to Arsenal anytime, any day.
Oh my goodness, she's giving it to Arsenal anytime, any day. That's Margaret talking to me. He says, she said, or anyhow she's going to talk about tonight. King of London is Arsenal. But I'm going to welcome this man. It's not go agree. It's not go day. It's not go well. I'm telling you, his name is Prof. I call him Prof. We call him Prof. He's absolutely a Chelsea fan. I'm telling you, welcome, Prof. Welcome to the show. What's going on, bro? Who is the King of London? Talk to me, Prof. Too much. Yeah, welcome, bro. Yeah, the King of London.
I don't know. Should I dive in straight to the debate?
Straight up, let's do this. Come on.
I mean,
yes.
Funny debate. The debate just took me back to when Chelsea beat Manchester City in the 2021 Champions League final. After that match, you know, as usual, I was surfing through my internet and I got on Arsenal AFTV page. And I'm sure the Arsenal fans here, the ones we know AFTV, that's their number one fan page. And the owner of it, Don Robbie, you know, alluded that it's over. He said it with his mouth. I have videos. It's over. Chelsea are the kings of London, having won 2 Champions League. So for me, this is not a debate, but for the sake of the debate, I'll just talk about it. Look, social media following, Chelsea beats Arsenal hands down. At some point in 2023, Arsenal have 93.7 million following. Chelsea have 118.9 million followers all over across social media. So you know that shows you that they are not mates. Now talking about trophies, when we make this argument, Arsenal fans, they go back to before 1950 when football was played with I don't know how to call it, the pancake football. You know, that's when they go back to talking about that time. And if you make that as a yardstick, yeah, you can also say Sunderland has about 6 league titles as well. So can you open your mouth and say Sunderland is a bigger club than Chelsea? You can't. You know, can you say Aston Villa is a bigger club than Chelsea? You can't. So you can't talk about 1950. And a lot of Arsenal trophies, they have 40, I think they have 41 trophies in total. I think Chelsea has about 38 or something, thereabout. It's not too far off. But if you remove community shield is a lot. You know, Arsenal fans, they used to add that community shield. It's community shield that makes their trophy so much. If you take out the community shield, there is not much between 2 teams. And then look, not even one, we're talking about 2 Champions Leagues, 2 Europa Cups. It is Chelsea are way ahead of Arsenal. Way ahead of Arsenal. You know, they've won more Premier League titles than Arsenal. You know, we're not talking about league titles now. Premier League titles, they've won more. So I think there's no comparison. Chelsea are the kings of London, no doubt about it. No doubt.
Oh my goodness!
No doubt.
Yes,
Prof,
yes, yes,
Prof,
yes.
Can
Prof,
I
are
say
you
something?
using followers?
Can I say
Oh,
something? Can I say something?
Oh yeah, what do you want to say, Nubia,
How can,
please?
how can you say that we should not count Community Shield when you are counting the overall titles of Chelsea? Don't you count Community Shield? You are
I
talking
wonder.
about you are talking about 1950 Premier League titles. So the Liverpool that you say has won 19 titles, they won all the 19 titles when it became Premier League, Abi. The Manchester United that won 20 league titles, they won everything in the Premier League era. So what are you saying? See, okay, let me ask you a question. How old is Chelsea? Did Chelsea start its existence in 2004? Chelsea started, when you say how old is Chelsea, Chelsea is well over 100 years. So they counted your existence way back. So if you guys have been sleeping way back and snoring, it's nobody's fault. You just woke up in 2004. So it's nobody's fault. Why you were done dance? Why your mates were making it while the sun was shining? You guys were sleeping and snoring. You now woke up in 2004 and you now think life started in 2004. Sorry, life didn't start in 2004. Life started when your club was formed. So the fact that you guys did not make it while the sun was shining, the fact that you guys were snoring while other people were running, that's your problem. As far as we are concerned, Arsenal have way more titles than you. And yes, nobody can deprive Sunderland of the 6 league titles they have won. The same way nobody can deny Aston Villa of the European League titles they have won too. They have it in their record. Whether they have relegated is nobody's business. Real Madrid has well over how many Champions League titles? 13. They won 6. I think they won 4. When back then, are they denying them? Why can't they say, okay, they've only won 9? Why are they counting the one they won when it was European Cup? Please, let's don't give that excuse, please.
Oh my goodness.
It is Arsenal have 13 league titles, Chelsea have 6. It's not our business that you guys woke up in 2004. Nobody's business. If you like, sleep again and wake up in 2019, now your problem.
Prof, what do you have to say to that? Do you have any other thing to say towards this before we move on? Margaret.
No, this is not. It's not
yes, I have.
I'll just let them have it. It's not an argument at all. Chelsea are way too big than them. It's not an argument. They are small boys.
Oh my goodness.
Stop. Be done.
Yes.
Be done. Please, it actually baffles me that Prof is actually using social media followers to judge who is the king in London. I believe that before you judge a team about how big they are, it has to do with the number of trophies, the number of titles that they have won. And then we're talking about an Arsenal team here that didn't need a sugar daddy to come and rescue them and make them who they are after how many years. But Chelsea, a sugar daddy from Russia came in, got them, took them out from nowhere, and then 50 years after, they won their first. They won a title. Finally, they won. In fact, it wasn't even a Premier League. It was a Carabao Cup. Something to at least tell them welcome. And then you're talking about an Arsenal team that have been stable, the only team that have not gone for relegation. And you're coming out here to say that Chelsea are bigger in what terms? Bigger if without the Abramovich money, Chelsea wouldn't have been anywhere. I'm sure that by now we would have known Chelsea. Come on, we all agree. There's no debate about it. Arsenal are the king of London anytime, any day.
All right, the king of London. They are still insisting. It's Arsenal. Hey, he's in the building. It's a Manchester United. Oh, sorry. It's an Arsenal fan. Talk to me. What you got to say? Are you saying the king of London should be gone to Chelsea? Talk to me.
Yeah, it's good to be on the show, man.
All right, bro. Talk to me. This is the argument right now. Are you saying the king of London is Chelsea? Oh, sorry, it's Arsenal.
When I saw this stuff that you shared, what came to my mind was, here we go again.
Oh my goodness.
Different opinions, different assertions. Some would say Chelsea are the king of London, and some would say Arsenal are the king of London. And if you want to look at the basis of which the other divide, say that Chelsea are the king of London, is what they've achieved since 2005 up until this time. So 2005 up until 2021. Should we say 2021, 2022? 17 years. It was a period where they transcended from nothing to something. And they won major trophies. And like Margaret said, it was due to financial money being pumped in to a club. And it was a time we saw where someone in England, majorly in England, where a billionaire buys a club and transforms the club from zero to something. And that is when everybody started following that trend. We saw Man City as well, and also Newcastle too has followed suit. But in the sense of the comparison between these two teams, if you want to look at it face value, what defines a king? A king is someone who dominates, right? Someone who consistency, right?
Yes.
And I would say both teams have been consistent for the past, if I were to do the subset of the past 17 or 18 years, both of them have been consistent at the top level.
Absolutely.
But it's just that one has been favorable in terms of winning major honors, and winning those major honors didn't come at zero cost. It came at a lot of money. And funny enough, the funny analysis to this was at the time Abramovich took over Chelsea was at the same time, was it 2 years after or a year after or few seasons after, if my staff served me right, was when Kroenke took on the major shareholder in Arsenal, because the way Arsenal was run, it was in terms of percentage ownership and all that. So he took a large chunk of percentage ownership. But at that time, Chelsea was on the upward curve. But Kroenke, when he took over major shares, left Arsenal at a stagnant point for whatever reason, maybe because of Arsene Wenger being there and Arsene Wenger's philosophy of not wanting to spend or spill the cash or wanting to groom players. And I think everything fizzled out for Arsenal at that time, especially that year when we moved to the Emirates Stadium. That was when things plummeted, if we were to look at it analytically. But now Kroenke is still the owner. And now you have a manager who has come in the last 3.5 seasons, and now you're spilling the cash.
Yeah. In
Arteta's 3.5 years of being the manager, he has spent almost over £600 million.
Yeah.
And bought close to 25 players. If we look at the number of players Arsene Wenger, or the money Arsene Wenger has spent while he was the manager for 22 years, I don't think is equal to the amount of money Arteta have spent. I don't know. I don't have that stat here. Or maybe he has spent a little over, or maybe they are equal. So that's the analysis I want to bring here. So if the manager that Arsenal had at that time, when Kroenke took over major shares, was a manager who was ready to, who was determined to tell the owner to spend big cash, possibly.
Yeah.
Arsenal too would have gone toe-to-toe with Chelsea during these subset years I've mentioned. But we cannot take out history. Before 2005, there was football, there was Arsenal, there was Chelsea. And Arsenal was dominated Chelsea in that side of London. Because I keep telling Chelsea fans, whether they like it or not, you cannot take out history. You cannot just focus on only from 2005 and focus up to now and say, yes, because of that, we're better than you. It has to be holistically. It has to be with a bird eyes view. So from 2005, there was Arsenal, there was Chelsea. How did the two meet? It was like the distance was like Lagos to Kano, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of laurels won, in terms of achievement. But from that 2005, Chelsea measured up, won, and like I mentioned, due to the fact that money was spilled in. And now where we are, it seems the scale has changed. Arsenal is on the upward curve, and Chelsea seems to be stagnant. But Ibrahimovic, because of political reason, is no more the owner of Chelsea. So it swings both ways. But we can't take away the fact what Chelsea have achieved in the last 17 yeyears. They've been phenomenal. They won the Champions League, won the Europa League, won the FA Cup, But the argument is they want to come with the narrative of, have you won the Champions League yet? But I beg to differ, and I ask a question that when you want to determine who is the most wealthiest person on earth, do you look at the type of cars he has in his compound or in his parkway before you determine who is the wealthiest man on earth?
Yeah.
Also, another question I pose: Man City, Manchester United. The same analogy. Man City has been in the doldrums for years. Owners came with money 2010, 2009, 2010, spilled the cash, bought players, and they've won trophies. So instead of Manchester, in the city of Manchester, who would you say is king? Would you say Manchester City? Because Manchester City is dominating recently. I'm sure Manchester United fans will say no, like you just said. So I've done my analysis, and everything is there for everybody to see. And I think it's just plain and simple. Arsenal has been dominating for so long, and I feel unequivocally, I think they are the king of London.
Wow, they're the king of London.
Let me just put my last piece on it.
Please, I'm just going to give you 2 minutes. I'm going to give you 2 minutes.
Yeah, quickly. I hear he has spoken well for his, for his club. But like I said, it's just easy to. You can't look. Everton has 9 league titles. Villa has 7. I bet none of them will say that those teams are bigger than Chelsea. That's where the argument fails, because Everton has 9. Villa has 7. They are not bigger than Chelsea. You have to look at it realistically. Premier League titles, Chelsea has more. There's a point where you stop counting, because look, you guys go back to before 1950. You can't even understand the way football was played then. It's been modernized, so we have to look at it. We have to look at it with some perspective. You know what I mean? So Chelsea, with the European Championships they have, the Europa League, the Champions League, there's no just Arsenal are playing catch up now. That's the fact. They are playing catch up. That's what I want to say. Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Quick one. Sorry, that's him.
We are not going to leave yet.
Serious, that's him logic.
You catch up against a team that is ahead of you.
Nottingham Forest, for crying out loud, have a European.
Have 2 Champions League.
Have Champions League. Aston Villa, 2. I guess they've won a European Cup. I don't know if it's Champions League or what's it called.
I think Aston Villa have 1. Nottingham Forest 2.
Yeah, so you cannot see an Aston Villa fan come out in the open today and beat his chest to say, because we have Champions League, we're bigger than you, Arsenal, because you've not won it. I dare the Aston Villa or Nottingham Forest fan to do that.
All right, let's move on quickly. The sport news we have today, we've talked about Women's World Cup. Also, the EPL preseason so far. I think Manchester United is playing Arsenal tomorrow, I guess. Yes.
10 p.m. Nigerian time.
10 p.m. Nigerian time. Margaret, what do you think? Onana will be making his debut tomorrow, according to the newspaper flying around. It's going to be a massive game. What do you think, Margaret, going into that game between Manchester United versus Arsenal?
Thank you, Dudon. Yes, that game would be it's going to be a blockbuster, but I still don't see. I don't think both managers want to field in their best 11 on that game, because actually a pre-season they want to get to see how the other clubs, the academy players, the new ones can adapt to playing against this team when the season begins. So I actually don't really put more into it, but I just hope to enjoy tomorrow's game. That is just all. And see what I want to watch Onana. I want to see what he got, what he's going to do. I also want to see Rice. Want to see how many bags of rice, like Robbie would say, bag of rice they were going to get to go for Arsenal. So that is all. So I just that after the game, please, I just hope that after the games, he and all the Arsenal fans will not come out and start making mouth, maybe just in case Arsenal win. It's just a preseason.
That's what I want to ask. Is Is it a very important game for both teams? Is what your submission to this game? I mean, going into this game, how do you see the game? Manchester United versus.
So I'm not in America right now, but I know I see the feelers, I see the news out there. It's sold out already in terms of ticket sales.
Though. Forget it. It's loaded.
And people that have gone to America for public holiday bought the tickets. Some even had to go on tour for this AFTV channel. They followed Arsenal on this tour. So you can tell me the match does not have. You could even see pre-adverts on it. I think Manchester United to put it on the socials, Arsenal to put it on the socials, where the old Arsenal players, old Manchester United players too, were trying to, the business side of it is what they want to try to make up. And we should not always forget that there's a business side to this as well. And I guess Manchester United right now, we did feel a strong team, and preseason games like this helps managers to be able to prepare for the season. We had similar last season, I think against Chelsea, that they got beat 4-0. And I think that was what served as an impetus to whatever Arsenal did during the league in terms of the formation, because that was the first game Zinchenko played, and it gave Arsenal a different dynamics in terms of the way Arteta wants to set the team up. Him being the left back, inverting into the midfield. And I'm sure he would want to try out so many things tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow, Saturday. And whether we as fans don't want to put pressure on ourselves, or if we want to belittle it and say this is not that kind of game we should be looking at, I bet you the two things are looking at each other eyeball to eyeball to say, I don't want to lose this. Though it's a preseason game, but I don't want to lose this. So it's poised. But let's just enjoy and watch a good game.
All right. It's going to be a massive game tomorrow when Arsenal will be facing Manchester United. It's going to be a massive one. And I tell you, let me quickly ask Nubian Prince about this topic. You can see Saudi Pro League, Cristiano Ronaldo leads the revolution in Asian football. What do you think, Nubian Prince, going on there by this great man, the GOAT? Everything is changing over there right now. They are signing beautiful players. I can't just imagine what's going on there. Talk to me, bro.
For me, I don't think it's any Ronaldo revolution. I think it's actually the Saudi revolution, using money to love it. It's not about Ronaldo here. If Ronaldo had said no, they would still have gone ahead to love bigger players. The players like the likes of Benzema, Mahrez, Ruben Neves. Ruben Neves said the reason why he moved to Saudi Arabia was to cater for his family and children, that they are his greatest trophy. So what does that mean? So it's not about, and that is the reason why everybody going to Saudi Arabia is going there. It's for the money. It's not about the Ronaldo factor here. It's not Ronaldo at all. It's about how well the Saudi Arabia guys are willing to splash the cash. It was the money that they used in luring Benzema there, and it's the same template that they've used for every other person. Let's not forget that they even tried it for Messi. Messi said no. But overall, a lot of players, and that brings us to the fact that what these guys do is they play for money. At the end of the day, football is a career, and everybody is in a career to make money. It's not forget the passion, forget the I love it. It's for the money. Nobody does even that thing that you claim to love, that thing that you claim you can do it for free. The fact that remains that if you keep doing it and nobody pays you, you would think otherwise. You will look in another direction because everybody has got bills to pay. So we are looking for what, and of course, if eventually you find something you love doing and you are being paid for it, is that stars aligning. You will do it even much more. You won't do it haphazardly. You won't do it half-heartedly. But if you are doing something that you don't really like and the bills are coming, even if you don't like that thing, you will learn to love it because that's what is paying your bills. So Saudi Arabia understands that, and that's what they're doing. They are simply dangling the carrots in front of you, and everybody is starting it because at the end of the day, in Europe, the hype is so much that even clubs don't tend to value these players anymore. Once you have 30, they start getting a bit, they start thinking, what sort of contract do I offer this one? Can I offer him a long-term contract? You understand? Because they feel he doesn't have the legs to run anymore. But Saudi Arabia does not care because they don't even have so much of a rigorous league. So even if you are 35, they can still offer you a 5-year deal. They just want to see your face. They just want to, enjoy that hype, that name, that brand, because they want to grow their brand. So Ronaldo or not, Ronaldo alone cannot grow their brand. If the only player they've been able to lure to Saudi Arabia League is Ronaldo, that is not enough reason for DStv to want to buy the TV rights. But they've been able to get Benzema, get other players there. Now they've been able to raise an army of good players, whether aging, whether the ones in menopause, or the ones that are just coming up, or the ones that are, are in their active years. They've been able to gather all of them together. So now DStv can approach them. So Ronaldo saying, I think it's just fortuitous that it was the first big name that they signed. If it was not available, they would have gone for someone else. And they would still have been able to do this because everybody responds to something, and that is money. Even clubs are literally saying, clubs are literally telling Saudi Arabian clubs, come and get our players, because they know they are the ones flashing the cash.
Yeah.
And everybody needs money. Even clubs need money to also do their own transfer.
You're right. All right. Let me ask. Yo, hold on, Prof. 1 second, please. I'm trying to pull up something right here, right now. I want to quickly talk about. Oh, all right, Prof. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Look, for me, I think we cannot take away the influence of, one of the greatest players of all time, Cristiano, out of the reasons why we are seeing a massive influx of these popular world stars into Saudi Arabia. I think, look, these are not paupers. These are players who have earned, so much. They've earned a fortune, across their careers. Look at the likes of Karim Benzema and N'Golo Kante. Kante was the highest earner in Chelsea. But look, when I feel like in life, when you want to make a decision, there are a lot of things that influences your decision. I don't think it's just the money. I think by the time you look, you're highlighting why, the reasons why you want to make a major decision, and you look at a player like Cristiano Ronaldo, like I said, one of the greatest, and you see him playing in that league, that must count for something. I think there's no doubt about it. They are all looking at Ronaldo being there, earning as much, and it's influencing their decision. I'm not saying it's the sole reason why they're all going there, but it has a major influence on the decision. And for me, on this issue, before I hold back, I think it's a little bit worrying that these players think when they get to 30 years, all they have to do now is to chase the money. Because I saw Didier Drogba come back to Chelsea at the age of, is it over 33, to win the Premier League title with Jose Mourinho. So I don't know why they all think, look, when you get to 30, it's over. I hope this doesn't affect the cycle of these players and reduce sort of their lives, their football span actively, when they feel like, okay, they have about 10 years. If you're 20 years, you think you have about 10 years to just be on the world stage. And then when it's 30, you need to start looking either going to the MLS or to China or to Saudi Arabia, as the case may be. Because I still feel like, when you're still 30, 31, 30, even at 33, you still have a lot to offer and a lot to give. So that's my worry concerning this. But I think Cristiano has a great influence as to the reason why they move in there.
All right, that's that. Robbie, can I hear you? Are you still there, Robbie?
Yes, I am still very much here. I am still very, very much here.
All right, Robbie. I'm hearing myself from the back.
No, I'm fine. I'm good here.
I can hear. There's
a feedback from the side. Okay. Well, let me go out and come in again.
Okay. Yes, I'll quickly want us. Margaret, Margaret, can you hear me? All right. Quick one.
I can hear you.
Yes, on this Women's World Cup, I mean, a lot has been. You watched the match yesterday, Nigeria versus Canada.
Oh well, I couldn't watch the match, but I saw some clips. I got to watch some clips. Yeah, the clips of it.
What do you think? What do you think about the game, Prof? Did you watch it?
No, I didn't see the game. I think it was
Nubia.
Night, right?
Yes. Nubia Prince. Nubia Prince, do you watch it?
No, it was around 3 a.m.
Everybody don't
3 a.m.
I know you keep.
But the Don, actually, I must say that the Super Falcons, kudos to the Super Falcons, at least for getting a valid draw.
They didn't play anything.
The kudos is for the draw, getting a valuable point. That is all. I am not yet to celebrate with them because it seems everyone is celebrating everywhere for them getting a draw against Canada. Fine, I understand that this Canadian team are ahead of the Super Falcons. They are the Olympic champions. But then, come on, what did you go there for? You went there for this competition. For you to get to this stage, it means you didn't go there for child's play. You didn't go there to not go out and play football. You didn't go there to defend and allow your opponent to come at you. I'm sure they didn't go there for that. And except the goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie, I think aside that, she was the only one at least stopping Christian Sinclair from scoring that an historic goal. She couldn't score that goal, which would have made her the first player to score in 6 World Cup. But Chiamaka actually stopped that. For every other one, I think it was I'm not actually impressed. Maybe until they qualify for the next group, for the next round, then probably that's when I will clap for them. But for now, they need to sit up. They need to go ahead, and because there are so many hurdles on the way, they have to play Northern Ireland. They have to play the co-host Australia, who have great players in their team. They have to play those things. They don't have to sit on their laurels. Yeah, we drew against Canada, and then they clap for themselves and then go on and play something else. I just hope that they'll be able to take advantage of this draw and make it and against the next team and take some valuable points so that they can qualify to the next round.
Yes, Robbie is going to give us a full insight of that review of the game so far. Robbie, can you hear me loud and clear? Please go ahead with this.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, talk to me about it.
Okay, well, for the World Cup so far, it has been an interesting tournament, like I said in my introduction. 5 games have been played so far. 2 were played yesterday, 3 were played today. Let me start with New Zealand. That was the first country who took to the field yesterday for the first game. A tragic event happened in that country, and that was the fact that a lone gunman shot and killed 2 people and injured several others. But that still did not stop the fact that football is not one sport that more or less goes into hiding because of any incident. Yes, the players took to the field and they paid their respects to the victims of that event. And fast forward into the game properly, New Zealand played against Norway. The football fans, as they are called, they won that game by a goal to nil. And I tell you, during the course of halftime, I tweeted saying that I just had that feeling that New Zealand were going to win because they were proactive of both sides. And fortunately, Wilkinson was the lady, more or less a folk hero when it comes to New Zealand football, because she is one player that scored in 3 World Cups for New Zealand. And that victory yesterday was their first victory in 32 years for New Zealand. And to add to that record, New Zealand got the highest number of spectators to come out and watch their match for both the men's and women's football game in that country. Over 40,000 people came out to watch the game against Norway. So it tells you what football is like for that country. And of course, talking about Australia, Sam Kerr was the big news that missed that game because she got injured in training. But it still did not stop the Australians as well, because they got into that game and by a lone goal, cut off a penalty. And another record was broken yesterday because for the first time in Australian football history, they had about 74,000 spectators came to the field to cheer the Matildas, as they have called, to victory. So it tells you that this World Cup is an historic one. And the very funny thing is both games actually saw penalty kicks. New Zealand lost their penalty first of all, and also Australia converted their own penalty yesterday. Well, the penalty rush continued into today because the first game of today was Nigeria against Canada. And just like Margaret rightly said, I'm trying to remember Francisca Odega tripped Christian Sinclair in the 18. And after the VAR review, the referee had no choice but to point to the spot. Even before she did that, I was already screaming in my parlor that is a stonewall penalty. So,
yes.
So, and of course, Chiamaka was the hero of the day. She stood tall and she more or less stopped that penalty kick. If you ask me, I think it was a badly taken penalty kick because the ball was too close to the goalkeeper. Maybe if she had aimed with more power, or if she had gone for a little bit of a height on the ball, she probably would have scored that goal. So, with that event alone, I think that was more or less what carried Nigeria over the line, and Nigeria was to get a point. And looking at that game precisely, Rasheedat Ajibade did not play because of suspension that she picked up from the last WAFCON that was played in Morocco. So hence the reason why she did not make that match squad. Then also, Azeezat Oshoala, one player that everybody have been buzzing about in the country, was nowhere to be found. Nowhere whatsoever to be found. And the only thing that worked for the Super Falcons was the goalkeeper and the defense. And one player that stood tall is I'm trying to remember her name. That should be Deborah Abiodun. Deborah Abiodun is one player that our future is bright to the national team. Unfortunately, she picked up a straight red card. Yes, unfortunately, she picked up a red card in that game. But overall, if I'm going to give Nigeria more, if I'm going to rate them over 10, I think I'm going to give them 5 over 10 because they were reactive all through the game. And of course, Canada were not just spectacular today, but let us see what's going to happen in the next game. For Switzerland against Philippines, that is one game that, well, it really didn't carry much of a buzz because on paper, yes, not many people know much about Switzerland, Swiss football, but they were also able to squeeze through the debutants, talking about Philippines, by 2-0. And of course, it was more or less like a straight victory for the European side. And of course, the last game that was played was Spain against Costa Rica. On paper, we all know what Spain brings to the table. Spain also they play more or less an identical football like their male national team. And of course, both of them actually bear the same nickname, La Roa, as they are called. So, well, they ran into a 3-0 lead. That was between the 21st minute and the 27th minute in that game. Also, a penalty was given and it was not converted. So, the 5 games played so far in this World Cup have seen 5 penalties given after a VAR check. 2 has been converted. The goalkeeper have saved 2, while the other one more or less was played outside the stadium. So that is more or less a roundup of what is happening at the World Cup. For tomorrow, we're going to see 4 games. And the game starts as early as about 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Nigerian time. US will be going up against Vietnam. And at least for those who are a little bit acquainted with politics, let us not forget the Vietnam War back in the 1970s, 1960s, 1970s between US and Vietnam. So this is also more or less another, let's call it sporting battle that is set to go down between these two countries. And we all know what US brings to the table. They are the defending champions and they want to start their campaign on a high. So that is more or less what the World Cup is about right now. It has been an interesting World Cup. And overall, 5 games played, there have been 4 victories and a lone draw. So the draw is coming from the stables of Nigeria against Canada. But overall, it has been a wonderful game so far.
All right. Before you go quickly, before we wrap up this show tonight, can you please tell us about this game coming up at Ife, Robbie?
Okay. Well, we have the Interfans tournament coming up here. That is at the Obafemi Awolowo University tomorrow morning, and of course, the tournament is themed or is modeled after fans who represent or who support diverse clubs across Europe. Of course, you're going to see some clubs from the English Premier League, some clubs from the Spanish La Liga, and of course, an all-star team. So, what ISTV is doing here is more or less they've decided, or in their benevolence, have sponsored this tournament to more or less give voices to Nigerian students, as well as also more or less project sports using OAU, Obafemi Awolowo University, as the model for future collaborations with other universities across the country. So, the first foray into this project will start at OAU tomorrow morning, and of course we'll be giving you updates as we get started. So 6 teams will be taken to the field. It's going to be a week-long tournament, and of course at the end of the day, a champion will be crowned. Last time out when this tournament was held in the school, Team Manchester City came out on top after they defeated Team Nigeria in the finals on penalties. Full time, he ended 2-2, and of course that was one tournament I was very, very active in. I played in that tournament, and I was fortunate enough to get a man of the match performance in our last game against Madrid. So for tomorrow.
Wow, congratulations.
Player.
Thank you. So,
Oh my goodness.
So tomorrow is going to be another installation. Wait, John. So tomorrow is going to be another installation, and definitely we're going to be ISTV are going to get sights and sound as well as pictures from this tournament. So please stay tuned, and of course you get updates from that tournament.
All right. Before you go, which position do you play? Are you a midfielder or striker or defender?
More or less. How do I put it now? I'm trying to remember the name that is used in football. I can play almost all the positions on the field except yes, I can play almost everything. I can't. I am not a goalkeeper. I never liked goalkeeping because I am so. In as much as I love playing a lot of
you are not tall now. You don't need to be a goalkeeper.
So, any wing on the left hand side of the field, I can play it. I can play left back. I can play left forward. I can play from the midfield. I can play.
Oh, you use left leg.
Yes, I am left footed. So I can play virtually almost every wing. But for Cucurella's position, I really don't think I'm the best man. For his James position, I don't think I'm the best man for that one. So I'll definitely sit out down, and I'm not a goalkeeper. I can't play penalties. If we play penalty, I probably will just go and sit down somewhere and be looking at it as it calls in. So that is just it as it is.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Robbie is our correspondent on this World Cup, and also the Obafemi Awolowo University Interfan football competition is going to start tomorrow. Are you also a footballer? I mean, do you play football at some point? I mean,
I'm a footballer, but it's just I've stopped.
Wow.
Yeah, I play football now. I played football. I would have gone pro, but my dad, for one reason or the other, wanted me to
go and read your book.
At least which I read, and I played football. I played,
wow.
But right now I've stopped because you get to a certain age, you have to be careful so that you don't pick up an injury and the injury won't heal. But I'm a fitness junkie. I play basketball weekends now just to keep fit.
When you're playing, which position do you play? Is it defense?
I was a striker.
Bobeya.
I was a striker. But we don't stop because
interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll share one of them. I found that clip. I'll share it on the WhatsApp group.
Please share it with me. When I was growing up too, I'm also a very so I know my people.
Would you ask me if I actually played football too?
I played football.
Margaret, football.
Yeah, I did. Come on. It's funny, right? I did play football, but it wasn't like kind of professional, professional kind of football. It was just something for fun. But actually, no, I did play football, 11 versus 11. We played inter-city kind of football. But at the point, I had to stop because I had an injury. So I stopped completely. I was in secondary school then. My grandma was against it. I came back very late after training and all of that. But it wasn't something I was doing often. It was just something for fun. Once in a while, okay, let me just put on that jersey. But I didn't actually wear boots. I was using my bare feet because I couldn't do that. Mine is to make sure that I stop every ball that is coming, whatever shot that is in, I will have to stop. So that was it.
Nubia Prince, do you play football? I mean, Nubia Prince, Prof? I think I lost Nubia Prince there. Nubia, Prof, do you play?
No.
I mean, football.
Hello, Didon. I'm here.
I used to.
Prof doesn't look like a footballer.
It doesn't look like a footballer.
I've seen
It looks like someone. Get inside. Go and take your gun. Read your book. Go inside.
Hello, Didon.
Nubia Prince, do you play football at some point?
Yeah, when I was in secondary school, I did. The usual break time thing. Yeah. But beyond that, nah. For my position, I was a goalkeeper actually.
Oh,
yeah.
Aquere, basket.
I was not at Aquere. I was very good.
Oh, for you?
Yeah, I was very good. Very
Wow.
good.
Wow.
Very good.
Wow.
Very good.
Interesting.
I think let me just say something. I think my own football journey started when I was in secondary school.
Okay.
Because I grew up in, if you know Lagos well, I grew up in Bagada Pedro, and there was this pitch.
Wow.
I don't know if anybody in the 90s, middle 90s, late 90s, Obani Koro, they call that place Aka. That was when I started my football journey. I played with the Shola Babes. After school, we'll go jog, play competition, and man, it's not easy. It's been a journey, but like I said, my children, once I sight any glimpse of that gift in them, I'm going to push them to the very, very last limit and ensure they play professional. You know, our own parents back then, it was just go to school, read. We don't read the book, we don't tire, we don't pass exam. Where we did.
I'm sure, but sorry, please. I'm sure with the money involved right now, I don't see any parents stopping their children from playing football because it has a lot of money.
Do you think
oil money?
My boys.
Oil money.
I'm telling you.
You must play something.
I am telling you because I'm sure parents then probably your dad would definitely. I wish I could have asked my son to go and play football because it is money. Don't talk about money. That's a week on.
Yeah, that's one of the
things. I don't know if we heard the story of Osimhen, the issue he had with his family, that they took themselves to this guy's platform that he frees. When Osimhen's elder sister was talking about, because Osimhen's elder sister husband acted as the agent to Osimhen when he moved out from Nigeria. If you see the amount of money they were calling, not small money though, not hundreds of thousands though. They were calling millions. The move Osimhen made from Lille, because he moved as a free agent, I think from Lille to, was it Napoli? I can't, as a free agent.
Yes. From Lille to Napoli.
As a free agent.
Not free agent. It was sold for 70 million.
Yeah, the way they explained the deal.
I think Wolfsburg. Are you talking about Wolfsburg?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Wolfsburg. When he left Wolfsburg to Lille, I think he left as a free agent. His contract was up, so they signed him up. There was a chunk of money. If you're signing as a free agent, there's an amount of money that belongs to you as a player. It's not small money. So, Don, your boys, put them in the academy right now.
Before it's so funny, and the platform here is fantastic. The way the training, the pitch, it's fantastic here. So there's no point. In fact, in their school, it's a must. You must have a game, 2 or 3 sports you are playing. It's a must. So it's fantastic here. I remember in those days when I was playing, I played good football, very, very well. More or less like a 10, and I'm a left-footed player. I remember that, and that's one of the
Maradona.
Yeah, that's what I wish one of my area guys. There was a day we were at a store here in Maryland. So a guy just ran up to me and said, bro, what are you doing now? We exchanged pleasantries and said, he saw my boy. He said, hey, bro, I hope these your boys, they know how to play like you. That will be the first time my kids will know that, oh, daddy, you play soccer for real? So the guy was saying, do you know your dad? I play football like the way I'm not joking. The way Maradona used to play, control and everything. I have that skills there to the extent that people come to watch. But I remember my dad would beat the hell out of me. Like, what are you doing? Where that kind of fear. Once you see him coming from the side, you run inside, and you start looking at your leg. Once you see a spot or more, you go, that kind of thing. So I said, no, I'm not going to do this to my own kids. It was frustrating because I know how to play football very well. I skills, the brain. In fact, at some point I thought that was what I wanted to do then, but you can't say that to your father. You can't. So it's one of those things. Thank you guys so much. I love today's show. In fact, somebody from my town that's in Abeokuta, they're watching me right now and they're doing thumbs up. You know, to tell you, I play football.
Wow. And that is why we have to thank the likes of Shago Digbami, who set up a sport. Is it a sport academy? No, I know. I think a kind of sport academy school. I don't know. I think Robbie should know about that. A kind of school,
Yes.
but make sure they have good money sporting activity, something like that.
Yes, it's a school that combines sport and education. That is in Wasini, Ogun State. So that's where my niece attends right now.
No,
I think on the routes from Shagam into Abeokuta. I think that's where
that's where.
Also, because someone like me that I couldn't play football professionally, at least one way or the other. I've been in projects. There is one that is so dead to me. I think the final is next. I don't know if I can announce here. The final is next week, Sunday, at Obalinde there. There is one stadium at Obalinde there. It's on the 17th. And funny enough, we've produced 3 players that have represented Nigeria at the under 17 level.
Wow.
The good thing, my boss don't always want us to announce it, but the competition is tagged after him.
Why?
He said he's doing it for his own goodwill. He doesn't want any ROI, because I've advised him that you could get return on investment on this ball.
Absolutely.
Because you're because every year he sponsors he sponsors the competition every year in collaboration with the Lagos State Grassroots Association. Yes, that's their body. So he sponsors it, and now the females too have joined. I think it started 2 years ago. Now there was the boys on the 17, and there's a female on the 17.
Wow.
The first edition of
can you put me through to the person? I mean,
man, my boss is not the type. He will not come. He will not. He shies away, but he sponsors it every year. The first one for the female, one of the female represented the female on the 17, and I'm sure I'll be there next week Sunday to look out for the next generational talents.
Wow, massive. All right, guys, this is how far we can go. Tonight, I want to thank you, Dumbia Prince. Thank you so much for joining us on this one. Fantastic.
Thank you, my brother. Thanks for always having me. Thank you.
All right, one love, bro. Margaret, thank you so much for joining us on this one. One love.
Yes, Don. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Prof. You're fantastic. Thank you so much, Prof, for joining us on this one. Robbie, thank you so much for joining us on this one. Big up, bro.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.
All right. Ace, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right. God bless. All right, people, smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. This is Alpha. I can go tonight on this one. Thank you so much. Subscribe if you've not done that. Join us. Drop your comments how we can serve you more better on this one. On this final note, the Don is signing out. That's what they call me, the Don of Sport Entertainment. Don't get it twisted. One love. Take it easy. Bye. Bye for now.